Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. I'm coming at you with a video today from a different office. I've got someone doing some stuff in mine right now, but I want to talk to you guys about something that is kind of a notch on my belt. I want to share with you my very first cease and desist letter. That is right. So I want to share with you today what that's about, how I got it, what that means, and why for the second time this year we're going to rebrand. So basically, there I was, like all good stories start, there I was sitting at my desk doing some work, making some calls, and I get some mail. And now I typically don't check mail because, you know, it's going to come in, it's a distraction. I have an inbox on my desk, I'll set it there, and then I'll come back to it later. So I get some mail, and I glanced over at this one, and as you can see, it has a logo on it that has a very similar name to one that I have. And so it caught my attention, so I took a break, which is not normal. I took a break from my calls, I opened the letter, and I'll go ahead and read to you guys what it says. So Jerry Fetta, addressed to Jerry Fetta, WealthX LLC, Arctic Boulevard, that's my office, RE, cease and desist letter. So it says this: Dear Mr. Fetta, on behalf of WealthX Pte Ltd, by itself, on behalf of its affiliates WealthX, I demand you cease and desist using any and all use of the name WealthX in association with your commercial activities. WealthX is a company that provides research, analysis, information, and services to clients in the financial services field and has taken active steps to protect its mark WealthX around the globe by obtaining it in 2012, a United States trademark from the U.S. Trademark Office, regulation number 4130434, by the mark WealthX in the international classes 35 and 34. WealthX is a global company with multiple offices around the world, including a visible presence in the United States, including offices in New York. It's come to our attention that your company has commenced using the mark and the name WealthX in connection with financial investment and management services, the same industry as the customers of WealthX. Your company's use of a mark and name that is strikingly similar to our mark and name for services that are closely related is bound to cause confusion among our customers and as to the source of your company's services. Consequently, your company's actions are in violation of the Federal Trademark Act as well as statutory and common law. Unless we receive within 10 business days written assurance that your company has terminated all use of the infringing mark, we shall refer your infringement to our outside counsel to take necessary steps to bring a halt to your company's infringing activities. All right, so that was the letter I got. That's exciting for me. That is going to be a notch on my belt. I've never had that happen yet, and so I'm actually going to frame this. I'm going to keep it, and the reason why is this, guys. So that if you don't know the story, a couple months ago, probably back in August, we decided to rebrand from AG Capital at the time, which had been our name for about 3 years, to WealthX. Now, that name was more in alignment with where our company was, the changes we'd made in our products. And at that time, we decided, well, if we're going to rebrand the name of the company, let's change our standards as well. So we changed our culture. We set higher expectations. We had everything ramped up, right? We were ready to go. And what happened? About a week later, our entire sales team looked at our new contracts and quit. They all walked. So we went from being about 10 people down to me, Lexi, and our 2 assistants. And that was already a blow. So my mind at that time went into 10x mode. So 2 years ago, I read a book called the 10x rule. And the 10x rule is about this: taking massive action. Taking massive action. Stop thinking, stop planning, stop organizing, stop procrastinating, just do. And the first thing, it says it in that book, the first thing that will happen is you will get massive new problems. Okay, so when I had my company basically go from all the way up here and we torched it down to the ground, what I did was I took massive action. We picked a new name immediately. We started going at it, working with prospects, going into the marketplace, telling people what we're about, what we do. And the growth that we had from September when we rebranded from AG Capital to WealthX to today is the highest we've ever had, ever. We've beat all of our records. We've had all-time highest revenue, stats, all of that stuff is at an all-time high. Okay, now this WealthX thing, we're rebranding to Wealth DynamX. So almost the same name. I'm excited and even more excited about the name, but I'm going to share with you why in just a second. But my point is this, guys. In a time when I could have looked and said, oh no, my sales team just quit, we just torched our whole company, I need to really organize and I need to take some time off and I need to get my life back in sync. In a time where I could have done that, I didn't. Instead, what I did was I went out and I produced. I hustled and I got everything going the way it needed to be going. So here's the deal. I would rather have the problem of having to find a new company name while succeeding in my company than have the problem of, oh, my name is great and I checked the trademark laws and everything's good there, but my bank account's empty and my company is out of business. I would rather have a company and have to change the name than have that other problem. And so the problem that we mostly have in our lives in circumstances like this is we've been taught to wait. We've been taught to think about things, to procrastinate, to research, to hum around. And I'm telling you guys, don't do that. Don't. You're going to have problems. You might have to change the name of your company. You might have an issue come up. You might get a letter in the mail from an attorney. It does not matter, because all of those things are conditional. What you know for sure is that if you don't take action now, you're not going to have a company. Your bank account's empty. You're not going to be able to get where you need to go. So we rebranded. We're going from WealthX to Wealth Dynamics. I'm framing this guy, the cease and desist letter. Hopefully I get a couple more, because that means I'm taking massive action. The thing I'm most proud of with this, I looked up the company WealthX. They are huge. Okay, so they're owned by a group out of Singapore. They're giant. They're a data mining company. What that company does is they are a database where they find all of the millionaires and billionaires that live in every state, and they sell that information to financial services teams, to different companies, and companies that do what I do. I was able to get their attention. I was able to get a giant multi-million-dollar corporation's attention all the way from Anchorage, Alaska, in my office on 2522 Arctic Boulevard. I got their attention. Okay, if I got their attention, how many other people's attention did I get? To get that one company's attention, how many different people, companies, groups, organizations did I need to catch attention from before it was them? Okay, so that is an indicator for me that I'm on the right track, that I'm doing all the right things. Now, I have some people that are watching this, and you know who you are, in your head or even out loud, or the person you're gossiping with right now. Oh, I knew it, Jerry needs to slow down, you need to be more careful, you're going to get in trouble, all of the stuff we were taught when we were kids, right? I'm not going to be careful. I'm going to do the next one just the same way. The reality is, guys, under the name of WealthX, which we're changing, I did better with my company than I've ever been able to do. I am proud of that. I got the attention of a multi-million-dollar organization. I was pushed this last 2 weeks when I got this letter in the mail. What I could have done is, oh crap, I need to halt all activities. I need to stop making calls. I need to stop doing emails. I need to stop doing videos because I have to think about this. I might get in trouble. That's what I could have done. Do you guys want to know what I did instead? Instead, I set an all-time record in the last 2 weeks for the amount of contacts I've done. I set an all-time record for the amount of appointments I've attended. I set an all-time record for the amount of sales I made. I set an all-time record for the amount of revenue that we produced in that 2-week period. I didn't stop. The challenge was keep running your stats into affluence and go pick a new name. I accepted the challenge because I believe I'm capable. I believe in my potential. Just like you are capable and you have potential, and I believe in that in you too. So guys, the lesson I want to have you take away from this is the same lesson I took. Could I have looked up the trademark rules? Yeah, and now I know that. Could I have done a better job fact-finding up front? Yeah, and now I know that. But I would rather have revenue in the door, sales happening, clients being served, and a problem of having to change my name than none of those things, and having the right name and being able to say, ooh, it's all neat and tidy. Everything looks good. Everything is neat. Everything is comfortable. I would much rather have the problem of having to rebrand, rechange the name again, and have all that production on the board. So enough about the change. That's established. I'm going to promote that like crazy so that you guys remember it's Wealth Dynamics. Okay, so Wealth Dynamics, I want to tell you about the name, the importance of it. Same company, same products, same greatness, same everything, but the name is going to be different, and it actually has an even deeper meaning. Okay, so wealth, as you guys know, is you owning your potential. Okay, it's abundance and prosperity in every aspect of your life. Okay, it's not just having investments. It's not just having a mutual fund portfolio. It's not just having a 401k. It's not just retirement. It's not just any of those things. You have an entire life. Okay, in your life, you have your spirituality, you have your emotional and intellectual, you have your physical stuff, you have your physical health, right? You have your relationships with your family, your friends, and your groups, okay? You also have your job, which is the work you're doing. You have your business, which you're building, which is your creativity. You have your finances, and then you have recreation and fun. That's your life, okay? Only one of those 8 things was money. Only one of them. Okay, so wealth is an abundance and a prosperity in all 9 of those categories. That's wealth. Your entire life is being lived by design. You're owning and controlling it. You're doing it the way that you know it's intended to be done. That's wealth. So wealth dynamics, that's what wealth means. Now, here's the dynamic side. You have those different dynamics in your life. Okay, I just talked about them. There's 8 of those dynamics, correct? Now, within that, the only way for you to actually build abundance and prosperity in all 8 of those dynamics is to chase after your potential. That's what the X is about, okay? This is where it gets trippy. So the X is your potential. In a mathematical equation, an X is an unknown factor. You don't know what it is, just like you don't know what your potential is. You can chase it, you're going to get glimpses of it, you're never actually going to know what it is. And so that's the importance of the X. Now, the X means potential. Potential comes from the root word potent. Potent means power, okay? Power is such an abundance of prosperity and production that momentary dips and halts cannot impede your survival. That's power, okay? So I want you to have wealth, meaning you have that level of power in all areas of your life, okay? This is where it links. You ready for this? This is inception kind of stuff. That's power, right? X is power from potent. If you look at the etymology of dynamic, it also means power, okay? So dynamic is the power that fuels your life. It's your life force, okay? And that's what is going to come out when you start living a life by design. When you start getting your spirituality, your emotional health, your intellectual health, your relationships, your creativity, your job, your business, your finance, when you start getting all of those things rocking and they're ramped up like they should be, then you're going to see that your energy changes. Your actual energy changes. You feel better. You look better. People start asking you, dude, what are you doing? What have you been doing different? Are you on a new diet? Are you on some sort of thing? Are you taking an energy drink? You're going to be getting those questions from people because you're going to be interesting to others. That's when you know you're ramping up and you're getting into this wealth thing. Okay? So wealth dynamics is you building abundance and prosperity in all areas of your life. Okay? And not just abundance and prosperity, but such an abundance and such a prosperity of it that momentary dips and halts cannot impede your survival in those areas. Imagine what that looks like. Not just financially. Okay, money's just a tool. I want you to imagine, what if my physical health had such an abundance and prosperity that momentary dips and halts could not impede my survival in that area? What if my relationships had such an abundance and prosperity that momentary dips and halts couldn't impede survival? What if my business was that way? What if my fun, my recreation was that way? What would life look like? That is wealth dynamics, guys. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. That's the new brand. That's the new company. So lesson learned, definitely fact find. You know, it probably took me 5 minutes afterwards to go on the trademark database, Google the name, find out what it looks like, and say, okay, yeah, this name's taken, this new one's not. That takes like 10 minutes. Now, the real kicker on this is I have a legal team. Okay, I have people that I could have called and I could have said, hey, is this name taken? I was so focused on my production that phone call didn't happen. Okay, so that's my learning moment. That's my blind spot. I need to know when to take advice, who to take it from, and listen when I do ask for that. Okay, so that's my learning spot. I don't call that a fail. I call that an opportunity to improve, because that's going to further maximize my wealth capacity in my business. But what I want to get across to you as your coach, if you're watching this, if you're in a business now, I want you to stop organizing. Okay, I want you to stop organizing. I want you to stop tidying around. I want you to stop trying to get everything perfect before you take action. It's not helping you. Okay? I would rather you come to my office with one of these and say, hey, I'm in trouble. These people had lawyers. They sent me a letter, but my family is making it. Financially, we're doing better than we've ever done before. Our business is expanding. I'm in the best shape of my life. My relationships are better than they've ever been. I would rather you have all of those things to bring to the table and show to me as your coach and say, hey, but I have this problem. Because we can solve the problem. Okay, you cannot solve the problem of being spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, relationship, business, finances, bankrupt in all those areas. You can't solve that problem as easy as you can solve a name change. At the end of the day, names are made up. Okay, my name's not even Jerry. My mom just decided to call me that. I don't know if that's my name. I don't know when, maybe I go to heaven and God's like, hey, that's not actually what I named you. That's just what they were calling you when you were down there. I don't know. Okay, so we need to stop focusing and being so firm and tense on these tiny little minor issues and start focusing on the real things that make a difference in your life. If we put the amount of intention, the amount of focus, the amount of care on the root causes that actually will produce for you, if we put that amount of attention on it, our lives would look much different. And we wouldn't be sweating little things. Okay, we wouldn't be getting stressed out about, oh man, I just made too many calls and now I don't know how to organize it. That's a great problem to have. Oh man, I just made so much money, now I have to pay taxes. That's a great problem to have. You made money. Okay, oh man, I worked out really hard and now I'm sore. Okay, the alternative is you can quit. You can quit. You can say, oh, I don't like the problem I just created. I can quit now. I don't like paying taxes. I could just stop earning income. I don't like being sore. I could just stop working out. If you want to do that, be my guest, but none of my clients are going to do that. So guys, that's the lesson I want to have you take away today. If you have not read the 10X Rule, you need to read that book. Okay, my story is 2 years ago, actually about 2.5 years ago. I had gone down to Minnesota. We were commuting back and forth. When I say we, I mean me. I was flying from Anchorage to Minnesota every 2 weeks. I had a plane ticket, a one-way plane ticket, a hotel room, and a rental car charged on a credit card. And when I got down to Minnesota, if I didn't make a sale, I didn't know how I was coming home. That's the reality. Like that legit 2.5 years ago was me. I had an opportunity to go down there with the Dave Ramsey ELP program and try and make something happen. And I showed up on the day my hotel expired, on the day the rental agency called and said, hey, you were supposed to bring your car back tomorrow. Where is it? I made that last sale. I got enough money to get a plane ticket and go home. Otherwise, I didn't know what I was going to do. Okay? I didn't know anyone down there. All I knew was if I don't make something happen, I will not be going back to my home in Alaska. My wife's up there, our dogs are up there, my family's up there, everything's up there. That's the position I had put myself in 2 years ago. Okay? That is exactly what humming around, procrastinating, organizing, strategizing, researching, learning got me. It did not get me production. It put me in danger. So I looked at my life at that point in time and said, I will never put myself in this position ever again. Okay, that was my responsibility. I did that to myself. Okay, so that was me 2.5 years ago. When I read 10X Rule, it resounded with me. Why? Because 10X Rule, I had already been doing it with other areas of my life. Those that know me, that's exactly what I did in bodybuilding. That's exactly what I did with basketball. That's exactly what I did when I pursued my wife in high school. I did the 10X Rule. For whatever reason, I wasn't doing it in my business. So the 10X Rule says this: commit first, figure the rest out later. I want to leave you guys with that message. You know you need to commit. You're listening to this. You right now, the person I'm talking to, are listening to this message. That thing that you're afraid to do that's sticking out in your head as I'm saying this, that's the thing you need to commit to. Okay? Just do it. Do it. There are going to be problems if you do it, and there are going to be problems if you don't do it. It's the same effort. The problems that you will have if you do not do it are much worse than the problems you will have if you do it. I promise you. I can tell you that from experience. The results I've had applying this mindset have taken me from $50,000 a year in income to this year we broke $600,000 in a 12-month period. That never would have happened if I just stayed doing the same thing I was already doing, if I just continued organizing. Did you know when I started my company, before I even made a single phone call, I spent 4 months reading books and researching. 4 months. Okay, there are not 4 months worth of things that I could learn that actually help. Okay, so I was the worst at that. That's why I can come from this position and have this discussion with you. 4 months of procrastinating, of reluctancy, of being afraid, of not wanting to make the call, not wanting to set the appointment, not wanting to go see the individual, not wanting to share with people what I do. 4 freaking months. Guys, that's 25% of a year. I spent doing absolutely nothing. Do you know how quick it takes to turn things around? Call like 10 people today. Immediately, you're going to be busy all week. I promise you. So that's what I want to end on today, guys. Commit first, figure the rest out later. We're going to be Wealth DynamX. We are Wealth DynamX. We're going to make it bigger and better than it ever has been. 2018, we're going to be doing some great things. I can't even wait to share it with you guys. Like, you guys are not going to believe the kind of stuff we have going on with Wealth DynamX into the 2018 stuff we're going to be rolling out. Hey, thank you for watching. Hey, please share this. I want to make sure that, this message, more than any of the ones I've ever shared, is the one that people need to hear. Okay, it's the get off the ledge, get off the fence, right? Even the Bible talks about when you're lukewarm, you get spit out. Lukewarm is when you're in the middle, when you're neutral. You're not doing anything, okay? The law of energy is like this. You're either moving or you're not. If you're not moving, you're static. And if you're static energy, you're dead. It's not my law, that's the law of energy. Okay, so if you're neutral, you're static, and if you are static, you are dead. Okay, so Wealth DynamX, it's going to be Wealth D-Y-A-N or D-Y-N-A-M-X. Okay, just like 10x, just like X, just like your potential, just like your human capability. If you really went after what you believe you're capable of doing and tried to own your potential, I'm going to sign out because I'm starting to ramble, and I could probably go on forever, and you guys know that, and I'm not going to do that to you. Have a great Monday. Be sure and share this. Hey, check out our new website, www.wealthdynamx.com. I'm going to post it in the comments. I will talk to y'all later.